back. You got some cheap cologne, trip to Vail, yoga mat. Oh man, you're cleaning up while I'm keeping tabs. The half education on the Upper West Side. You're medicated, situated for a lifelong free ride. I could hail you a cab, but just promise that don't come back. Happy birthday, asshole.
Well, it is the most auspicious of occasions. It's Chris Ingham's 40th birthday. That's right, he's 40 today on this very day, the 13th of July. 40 years ago today, his lovely mother shot him out of her, the nether regions, right? So, we're going to talk about Chris. It's his special day, and I thought we would bring him a beautiful, beautiful special episode of Let's Get Rid of the Inghams for Chris Ingham's birthday. It's his special day. This is a banger of a video. It's been a couple of weeks in the making. I've been keeping people on tenterhooks for this particular one because now it's Chris's 40th birthday. Did you know he's 40, by the way? That's 40. He's no longer that skater boy, emo skater boy, is he anymore? No, he's 40. Shame he dyes his hair. You might be able to see those greys coming through. Anyway, so what are we doing on today? Chris Ingham's 40th birthday. We are going to be taking a look at his lovely little, I want to call them scams, because guess what? That is exactly what it is. And I can officially say that, and nobody else can, because I've been scammed, right? I have officially been scammed, and, anybody else that claims that he's doing a scam, you don't know, right? Until now, that is. Chris, buckle up. We're going to take you on a ride, right? So, some of you may have noticed over a little while ago, a couple of weeks back maybe now, certain screenshots came out, were released into the world, right? And I think we should go over those today because Chris made some certain, well, let's see, slanderous claims, didn't he? That's right, it's illegal. What he's done is illegal. I know, it's Chris breaking the law. Jeez, who would have thunk it? So he, if you don't know, he's got like this Discord group, right, where you can pay £15 a month to join, and yeah. He has a bunch of women where he's tried to persuade them into, signing their lives away and stuff like that. So, something happened, though, within this group, right? I was passed this information by a secret spy, a mole, if you like, right? And Chris has said this about me. But yours truly, I know. I felt hurt, I did. But this is what he said, right? He told this one person, right? He said, I'm sure some of you have seen that weirdo Raccoon. Spelt wrong, Chris. Raccoon. Jesus. Right? That weirdo Raccoon on YouTube. The dude that's obsessed with me reposts all my content but makes out it's all inappropriate, etc. I can feel the laughter in his voice as he's saying it. The dude that's 100% on the register somewhere. Really, Chris, you're making a very bold claim there that I am 100% on the register, which register, well, we can all imagine what he's talking about there, right? And he's claiming to all his little friends there that yours truly is somehow on the register because he's that way inclined, you know? No, that is slander or libel. And you can't say that. You really can't. Sorry, Christopher. It's going to get you in trouble. Yeah, he's 100% on the register somewhere. That guy, it was him. What was him? We're going to have to wait to find out, aren't we? He's called, right, and he names me. I'm going to blank my name out. For obvious reasons. My name isn't a secret, but I am still going to do it. I'm not going to dox myself today. Lives in Wales, so he's named me and given me a general direction of where I live. That's lovely, Chris, thank you. You know, think of the kids, think of the children. What have I got kids here, and you know, you're directing people. Should be ashamed of yourself, shouldn't you? Alright. Self-proclaimed agoraphobic weirdo. Wow. There's so many things that you are, you know, you're being disrespectful to there. Does it make me a weirdo because I'm agoraphobic? Is that what makes me weird? Are you calling all agoraphobics weirdos? Because, you know, what would happen, God forbid, if one of your own children suffered with a mental health issue, right? I know you think that everything that you touch is perfect, and, you know, everything that comes out of you, or out of Sarah, is perfect, but, you know, occasionally your kids, they might need some support, and you think that people with mental health issues are weird. That makes you a little bit of a twat. Then he goes on to say, obsessed with jacking off over me for the last 6 years or so. He did a face reveal, in quotation marks. I'm not quite sure what to make of that, if I'm being honest. On his TikTok that I got sent me the other day. Typically socially inept looking serial offender type. Indeed. Fucking hell, my God. What kind of serial offender are we talking about here, Christopher? More claims that you can't back up. Lovely. Okay. We're digging your own grave as we speak, isn't it? Keep on digging, Chris. Keep on digging. I love it, though, because I have a police file on him longer than a mile. So all this BS is just more nails in his coffin. Let him come for me. He's doing me a favour with every upload. Oh, well, okay, I'll keep going then. I'll keep going. He's an absolute legend, this Chris Ingham is. Absolute legend. The thing is, he had fans in his group, and this is a good example of a fan, right? And I'm going to name her. She's perfectly happy with spreading crap about me online, right? Nation Louise. Now, guess her first name's Louise. Anyway, she said, Chris, I got featured in one of his videos in 2020. This is the funny part, right? It's coming up. Wait for it. For being a fan page, and he posted my face reveal screenshot. I don't remember posting her actual screenshot of her actual face, right? Just to make that clear. I was 16 in 2020, so he had pictures of a minor in his camera. Oh my God. Right, okay, I don't know if she realises what she's just said there. Right? She's saying that she was 16 and she was a minor at the time, right? Talking to Chris, who messaged to 16-year-old inappropriately. So, therefore, saying that Chris was messaging a minor inappropriately. She doesn't realise, does she? Oh, it's so funny. Me and my friends were defending you and he made us out to be crazy. I do actually, the thing is, on this one, I do actually remember. I don't remember posting her picture, but I do remember her specifically because her fan page was something like Nation something, right? And she was a major fan, like really iFam crazed, and she was like head of the take Ingham, take Dougal down campaign that they had back in the day. If you're an ex-iFam, you may remember that. But yeah, she was like top of that, and posted a load of shit about me and like messaged me all sorts of shit, right? Yeah, that's the one. I'm glad she's still an iFam. What goes around comes around. It's unbelievable. She's still an iFam and paying £15 a month to be closer to Chris. Brilliant. So Chris goes on to say, and it gets even worse for him. He puts his foot right in it, right in the mucky stuff, right? He says, "Trust, I have so much evidence on this guy from my private detective." He's so fucked in so many ways. It's just a long, drawn-out process of the police making sure all of his IP addresses match to his address, etc., etc. It's so funny that he thinks that telling a bunch of girls and women that the police and his private detective have taken 6 years. No wonder he's skint and had to flee to Dubai. He's been paying a private detective for 6 years in order to match my IP with the IP addresses that he's got. Apparently that's true. Anyway, can you imagine if that's true? Fucking hell. I'm just waiting for the police to tell me that that's a load of shit. Love that. But he's done. Long done. He's... Right, this is the part that will get him into a lot of trouble. And I mean a lot of trouble. Apart from everything else that he's already said. Right? He's one dude that will have scores of stuff on his computer that would have him locked up. No doubt. So what he's saying there, I think we can all guess exactly what he's inferring there. He's inferring that I've got inappropriate content, child-led content on my computer or on my devices, and whatever the police find would have me locked up, basically. He's telling that to all his little fans. Don't forget, he is an influencer of some repute. I know it's not very good repute, but he does still have over 1 million subs on YouTube and thousands on his various social media platforms. So people do listen to him, as still, for whatever reason, still look up to him. So him putting that out there is hugely problematic, right? For him, not for me, for him. Just to be clear, Chris, it's for you. Very problematic for you, right? He goes on to say he's just a typical socially inept pussy. Wouldn't say boo to my face in real life. 100% benefit fraud, claiming everything for being agoraphobic, in quotation marks, etc., but still rinsing YouTube AdSense money, stealing my content daily. It's literally a matter of time. He has some secret woman from Peru that he funds through my AdSense money that doesn't actually live with him. Some weird arrangement for sure. it does this. Mysterious woman live with my estranged son that I've got. Is it? Okie dokie. So as you can see, he's got all his little fans following him and supporting him and agreeing with him and just taking what he's saying as fact, because why not? This person says, OMG, Chris, that's awful. What the fuck is wrong with people? Why can't YouTube ban people like that? That's spewing hatred. You're right. He will end up locked away with all the other nutters. Now, this is the issue, right? When you say things as an influencer, people tend to believe you, whether or not you're telling the truth, whether or not you know what you're talking about, and whether or not you should be listened to in the first place. Now, the problem with what Chris has said is the location where he lives, because it's illegal where he lives to say things like that, right? Is it illegal in Dubai to speak badly about another person? Article 20 states that slander using abusive language or insulting another person or entity using a computer network or any information technology means is a punishable crime. That's right, it's punishable. What he's done there is, because he's living in Dubai, it's actually illegal to do it from Dubai. It is. It says there. Which means that he could face deportation should he get charged with it. And given that they've only just moved there, I'm sure the Dubai people would prefer him just not to be there, right? You know, why? Because they've got this like thing to uphold where there's not any crime anywhere apparently in Dubai. You know, why would they want to risk having one of the criminals like in the country, you know? So that's the issue. Now, how did all this begin? How did Chris start on me on that one particular day? To understand exactly what was going on, we're going to have to rewind a few weeks when I was bored and scrolling through his website. So this is the Escape the Matrix portal that's on his website, £15 a month, and it goes through everything that you can get for your £15. You know, it's a private Discord chat forum for one-to-one mentorship, and it goes through all the things that they talk about and they discuss and the things that you can get more information about and help with, you know, with your personal one-to-one tutor. That is Chris Ingham. Want daily access to me? Yes, please. Join a monthly membership. We get exclusive access to our group chat and all sorts of daily help and stuff like that. It sounds good. Weekly live Q&A sessions with me. Wow, okay. That, to be fair, sounds amazing. I'd love a Q&A with Chris Ingham. So I thought, well, should I do it? You know, it's £15 a month. Everybody knows that I did the last like group thingy that they did, the one on Facebook. But should I do this one? £15. It's a bit more expensive. Is it going to do any good for anything? But then I thought, I'm bored, because many of you know that I've been going through a bit of a difficult time, and I wasn't going to bother with any of this, honestly. It was too much hassle. I couldn't be arsed. Even taking Chris to the cleaners here was too much bother for me, right? Could not get myself off the sofa long enough to even think about doing this. But then I thought to myself, well, how can I have a bit of fun without Chris, right? How can I get myself back mentally right without Chris's help? So I thought, why not? Let's sign up, shall we? See what his £15 a month is going to do for me. And I did just that. I paid my £15. You can thank me later, Christopher. Thank me later. So I paid my 15 quid and I got access to the Escape the Matrix portal on Discord. So I thought, right, let's accept this. Brilliant. I'm going to have a great time. So I got myself in and I had a little browse around. It was very professionally done. So many different sort of segments, sections to explore, and different things to look at. Very, it was lovely, right, Chris? Well done on your achievements, right? Okay, it was lovely. So, the next thing that I did after I had a browse, I went to find Chris. Obviously, I wanted to see what Chris is at and what he's up to, and basically just have a little look at him, you know. And I looked at this is his profile, Chris Ingham, and I looked at his username, Chris Ingham G. And I laughed. Oh, how I laughed. It was, of course he's named himself G. Of course he has. Fucking hell. That was absolutely typical of Chris. It didn't surprise me, I guess. But yeah, it was funny. I'm not going to lie. So no sooner had I joined than Chris Ingham himself slid into my DMs. That is so lovely. I bet you're all jealous of that. He said the following: "Hi Liza," that is my alter ego, you know, female version of myself. "Nice to have you on board. Thank you for your subscription. I wanted to take this opportunity to get to know you a little better and to find out what your goals of being in here might look like, so I can best serve you." So I thought, right, okay, I'll give him a little rundown of what I wanted and what I expected. So I told him, and he never got back to me. I thought that was lovely. You asked a question, I told you, and you didn't bother. Lovely customer service, I thought. Anyway, I had another little look around, see what I could find. This post interested me particularly. He says, "This space only has one rule. Any sharing outside of this group is forbidden." Forbidden, he says. Well, Christopher, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm sorry. I did my best, tried not to. Anyone abusing this will be immediately banned for life with absolutely no refund on their subscription fee. Well, I never been so insulted in all my life. As if I would do such a thing as that. Come on, people. We're better than that, aren't we? To be fair, I hadn't shared, right? I'd stuck to the rules. I didn't share it, right? Another one of my favourite posts was, "I have the burn to start a new dropship store. If anyone here finds a winning product, I'll sell it and split 50-50 with you. Genuine offer." And so Chris is so desperate for new products and new ways to make money that he's looking for people to actually search for the products for him and, you know, split the proceeds. That's very big of you, Chris. Very big of you, because you can't find anything yourself to sell, right? When was the last time you sold anything product wise? I haven't seen anything from you. Post it on your little website and let us see what you're selling, because you're not selling shit right now. And here's a list of members. There was 16 or so at one point. I'm sure it got up to 20, but you know, that's the maximum that they had at the time, paying £15 a month. You know, that's pure coin, isn't it, Chris? Pure coin, you know, raking it in. Now, one of my other favourite posts was this. Now, this was quite a lengthy one, so please be prepared, but it's well worth it, honestly. So he's replying to somebody who's saying something about figures, numbers being quite small, followers, lists and stuff like that. He says, "Laura, that's not small at all. That's amazing. Could you imagine standing in front of 1,000 people? That's a lot. In June 2018, I got invited to Capital Summertime Ball in a VIP box." I remember this. As part of that, we were also invited to hang out with Anne-Marie backstage and then go on to the main stage and say hey to the crowd. There was around 5,000 people stood on the floor at the time when we went on stage. and another lot of God knows how many thousands in the racks of seating around the arena. Now, usually my YouTube videos these days will get 5,000 views in their first hour up. This is the funny part, listen to this. They used to get at least 10k in their first hour, and I remember the worried gut feeling I got seeing only half that watching in the first hour when it started to happen in 2023 at some point, which is ironic really, because your lovely wife has said that your viewing figures have not dipped for, well, ever, basically. They've always remained the same, but you're saying here that you had this gut feeling when you actually started having only half of the amount of views in the first hour to what you used to have. And, you know, I'm not quite sure who to believe, either you or your lovely wife. But then I reminded myself of how many people I saw stood in front of me at Wembley that day. I remember how mad it felt being stood in front of them. 5,000 is a fuck ton of people, not a small amount by any measure. Social media dickheads and trolls etc. got the whole game of views all backwards. We need to reframe our minds and see just how massive these kinds of numbers are. Mad little rant, but this is for everyone's eyes. Hopefully you all get the sentiment. I got the sentiment loud and clear, Chris. Your views have gone down substantially to what they used to be, and you were or are worried about them, right? Trying to tell yourself that you stood in the front of Wembley Stadium and just waved to the people. No, you just walked straight through. Do you remember? You just walked straight through off the stage before it even began, right? It wasn't like a big, you know, a meet and greet with the Ingham family in Wembley Stadium. It wasn't anything like that. No, it wasn't. You walked straight through, off the stage and backstage. I remember, because you filmed it, you know. Other little tidbits that you posted. What else would you want to post in front of a group of women rather than a motivational speech from the world's #1 hated misogynistic rapist himself? That's Andrew Tate, obviously. Yeah, why not? Give the women what they want, right? Isn't it? Chris, you've got it all backwards. You're the one that's backwards, right? Honestly, it's pathetic. So that was pretty much it. Now, I wanted to get down to business at this point. You know, the group itself was fucking boring. There's nothing going on, right? People asking questions, Chris not answering questions. I asked a question in the group and Chris didn't reply to it. A few people tried to give their opinion, but, you know, I need it from the head G himself. The top G himself, right? I need the actual answer. So I went to Chris's DMs, I slid right in there, and I couldn't slide myself back out because of all the goo. So I said, hi Chris, I want to get the DWA course on the payment plan. That's the like the course that you're selling, £497, right? I want to get the DWA course on the payment plan, but do you know if I will get resale rights straight away or if I have to wait until it's paid off? It's a valid question. I've been asking this in the groups, but Chris just doesn't reply. Anyway, he did eventually reply to this one, and he said the following: hey Laser, to be honest, this is something I am waiting confirmation on. As far as I understood and still do understand, you can still resell on payment plan. That's very important to me, that, because that's what I want the course for, in order to resell it. You know, that's the value of it, right? For me anyway, right? He goes on to say, obviously if you fail to make a payment, your access will be restricted. But for example, the person I bought from was on a payment plan with the person they bought from. I could still buy from them, etc. Same with a lot of members that are reselling. They are on payment plans and there is no issues with them reselling. There isn't, from my understanding, concrete yes or no about this on DWA either, so I would say yes. Worst that will happen is if you make a sale while on my payment plan, for example, is they will simply write to you and tell you that you have to pay the owed balance off with me before reselling again, at which point you pay the balance off with me from your earnings you just made. All is good. It's a grey area, but I haven't heard any feedback from anywhere stating that you can't, nor is there anyone checking this from DWA when you request to join the course after you have made payment. But once you join the course, there are so many revenue opportunities that you will be setting up. It's only the course itself that this whole grey area would apply to. Everything else you set up off your own back from the course is 100% not an issue. You can pay off your remaining balance that way. So what I'm getting from this here, if you're not following, is that he is saying concretely, outrightly, that the person he bought the reseller the course from, the person he bought the course from was on a payment plan themselves, and that person was also on a payment plan, allegedly, right? He's saying that outrightly, and he's also saying that there's nothing to say that there is an issue with it whatsoever, and so that he would say yes, you can resell the course if you pay on the payment plan, which is fantastic news for me because I want to pay 50 quid, right? I don't want to pay £497. I don't have £497 to pay, but I have a spare 50, right? And anybody that knows me knows I'm up for a challenge. I'll just chuck 50 quid Chris's way, you know, handouts all over the place because they need it more than I do, right? So I went on to his website once again. So this is called the Digital Wealth Academy Volume 2 Business Bundle. It's £497, but what I don't understand really is that, remember the old course, the last course that he sold? It was supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread. It was £400. It was going to change everybody's lives, right? But this one now, he's on to this one and he's saying the same thing about this one. Anyway, with the £497, you can get all this crap, right? It's a wealth of information, all sorts from marketing tricks and tips and how to make faceless YouTube accounts and all sorts. It sounds brilliant. Shall I go for it though was the question, because it's a lot of money. It's £497, but on the plus side, there's also a £50 a month option for those of you who are a little bit less well off, which is myself, right? It is myself, let's be honest. But my question originally was, if I was to sign up with an instalment plan of £50 a month, would I be able to resell it? Because that's what I ultimately wanted to do, is resell the course, right? Chris, as we've already discussed, has kind of intimated that yes, it's perfectly okay to do so. So, I'm going to say that originally on his website it said nothing about whether or not you can resell the course on the installment plan, right? However, he's since changed that and added to it, right? It says resale rights are only granted once the payment plan has been paid off. And that was after I bought it, by the way. That's not, you know. Also, on his website, there's no terms and conditions relating to the course. So there's nothing to say that you can't resell it. I know for a fact that there's a minimum resale price that you can only resell it for. as a minimum, but he doesn't mention that on his website. There's no terms and conditions to say that you're agreeing to that at all, so it leaves it fairly up in the air. Anyway, I decided to go for it and, you know, splash the cash, because you know what I'm like. I like to do these sort of things just for the benefit of research, right? So 50 quid I bunged Chris's way. As I said, he needs it more than I do. You know, he's got like a family of 8 to feed now. He's living in Dubai, which is more expensive than the UK, and he claims to be, you know, rich and everything. He's got this lifestyle to keep up. So I thought, give him 50 quid, not a problem, right? So I did that, and I got access to his course. That's right, and it was I'm going to say tedious to try and to get access to it. It wasn't quite as straightforward as I would have liked. So this was the order that I placed, confirmation, just to show you that I did in fact order it, and the receipt that I received. You can see here I paid £50, and I thought, right, access granted must be. But then I waited for an email, and the email said, please can you forward on proof of your order so that we can verify your account and then give you access. And I thought, what the fuck is going, why do I need to show a receipt to prove that I've bought this thing? Surely it should automatically say they've bought it and then give you access. Just me, that's how I would do business anyway. Apparently not with these. It was a bit more complicated. Then you had to sign up for this account thing, and it was just a lot of faff. I'm not gonna lie, it was faff, right? Once I got access, I had a little look around. There was some decent videos and stuff like that. The content was not too bad. It was just all like videos about how to do various things and make money and marketing and things that some people might be interested in if they want to start business, and that was great. However, what I couldn't find was how to resell the course, which was what I actually wanted to do. Now, I couldn't find any information on the site how to do this, which I'm not gonna lie, is probably one of the biggest factors why most people sign up, right? It's because they want this information, but I couldn't find it. So I went back to Chris's Discord and I had a look there, and I was absolutely dumbfounded by what I saw. So this person had obviously asked pretty similar question to what I had asked, but Chris came back with a very different response. He said, "Hey Lucy, not sure why I didn't see this right away, but DWA recently changed their stance on this as of a new addition to the term, where they now don't allow resell until the payment plans are completed and paid in full. There are lots of other ways you can put the course to work to earn you money in the meantime. If you wanted to pay off the remaining early, we can sort that too." Now, this is completely different to what I was told before I bought the course, right? So I bought the course based on what Chris had told me to be true, or what his understanding was of it being true. But since I bought it, he's changed his mind, right? So at the time, I was like, what the actual fuck, right? Sorry, but I bought this course based on what you told me, and now you're telling somebody completely the opposite thing, right? So what you're saying is I can't sell the course, or can't resell the course, even though that's why I wanted to in the first place. That's what I wanted to do. So I went back into the course website and I decided to ask the question in the community group thing that they've got going on there to see if anybody else could shed some light on this. I said, am I still bound by the terms and conditions if I didn't agree to them, basically, because Chris doesn't put his terms and conditions on his website, and I know for a fact, having read all up on what you need to do and everything, that he has to put his terms and conditions on his website, otherwise he's breaking their terms and conditions by doing that, right? And this very snarky person, and I didn't appreciate this response, by the way. This person said, that would be a great question for your lawyer. If the T&Cs of a product are important to you, why not ask for them prior to purchase? Or why purchase if they were not furnished? So thank you very much for that response. That was lovely of you to get involved. Yes, I did in fact ask before, buying what was what, right? And terms and conditions are important to everybody, right? It's what you agree to when you buy anything. It's not for me to have to ask for terms and conditions. When I buy a product online, the terms and conditions are usually there. Tick box. Do you agree to them? Yes or no? Yes or no, right? Simple, right? But on Chris's website, not there, right? Not at all. So I went back onto the community group, and I wasn't going to stop there. I said my reseller, Chris Ingham, so I tagged him so everybody knew who he was, sold me with no terms and conditions, meaning I don't have to abide by your terms as I didn't agree to any, which is actually true, right? I don't know legally where I stand there, but I did not agree to any terms and conditions when I signed up, right? Which means I am not bound by any terms and conditions because I agreed to the ones which Chris was selling to me, right? That's a whole big thing, right? So at this point, I'd already emailed the course owner, the head honcho, right? And she didn't get back to me. I live chatted to, I sent her a message through the website. She didn't get back to me. So all I can surmise from that is that, yes, I'm not actually bound by any terms and conditions because I didn't agree to any. But I did find this post, which is kind of related, something that Chris should have heeded because it could see him get kicked out of the group. So this was posted by one of the top dogs in the place, right? It said, please read. It has been brought to our attention on multiple occasions that terms and conditions are not being respected and are continuously being broken. Please review the terms and conditions in full to better understand how to protect your business and run it accordingly. However, I will put the main points below that must be followed. In regards to the resale rights, you cannot resell the Digital Wealth Academy course for anything less than $497. And that's a problem for them because Chris hasn't bound me by any terms and conditions in order to, be bound by that. I can theoretically sell it for less than that because, I didn't agree to it. It says, we've been extremely understanding and can't continue to give chances. This is the last time we will bring this up. Next time, anyone who doesn't follow the terms and conditions will be removed immediately from DWA. At the end of the day, this is not just Daniela and I's business. We have 46,000 members whose businesses we have to protect as well. So what they're saying there is next time, without warning, if you break their terms and conditions, they will remove you from the course, right? So Chris has done that. He has done that. I've even brought it to their attention that he's done that and they haven't done anything. So I don't know what to believe anymore, right? I don't know. But Chris, you're running on very thin ice because, I've been scammed here in this situation because I bought the course, paid my first month on the understanding that I would be able to resell it. Apparently, I can't do that because you told me that I could. You have no terms and conditions. There was nothing to suggest that I couldn't do it on your website when I signed up for it, and yet now I can't do it. So what do? I'm going to get my money back, aren't I? Because my bank, they're very much more understanding than any scam that you produce. But it is a scam if you do things like that, right? Outright scam. So then I thought I'd have a look to see what Chris is up to on his in his in the course, right? This is his profile, Chris Ingham. It says entrepreneur/influencer from the UK with more than 1.3 million followers on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Impressive, Chris. Impressive, I gotta say. So, it also says he was active 3 days ago as of that point, and he joined in April of 2024, which is interesting. He's been there for a few months. Well, not that much longer than me, if I'm being honest. And he's a member of these two groups, right, that he's paid for in that time. And I'm a bit at a loss as to what the difference is between the two, because at one point it was promoting one as being the top notch, the best in 2024. Now that the next one is the best of the best in 2024. So I don't know which one is the one he thinks. So you may remember from the beginning of the video when I showed you that Discord thing, right, where Chris was having a right go at me. Now this is the very reason why he was having a go at me, right? So, as you know, I was in his Discord group. He didn't know that at the time. But one day I got a bit bored, right? I'd had enough of his course. It wasn't doing anything for me. I felt ripped off. I was like feeling a little bit sort of at a loose end, right? So I went on to his Discord group and I thought, this is boring. This is so boring. I can't believe I'm signed up for this £15 a month. Bloody hell. By the way, there is no option to cancel your £15 a month should you want to cancel it. On his website, there's nothing that says how to cancel your £15. Like, is it like indefinitely? Do you have to be on it forever? Because it's just a recurring payment every month. And there's nothing to say, you know, if you don't want to be part of it, not just because of me, just anybody. If you don't want to be part of it, you can't cancel it. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Anyway, so I was a bit bored one night, and I thought, what can I do to spice things up? I was having a little browse around his site, and there was one or two things which surprised me, right? I came across this. It was the invite a friend option, and I thought to myself, hang on a second, why has he left that on? Because I think you can turn that option off. And I thought, why has he left that on? Because this is £15 one. This is a paid for group. So you don't want anybody just wandering in off the street, right? And then I thought to myself, I know, I've got to take advantage of this. So what I did do was I got the invite link and I went down all my contacts and I just spammed everybody with the link to his group. It was fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. It was funny. I'm sorry, Chris. It was the only entertainment I could come up with. Just loads of people just wandering into his group unpaid. It was so fun. I found it funny, alright? Okay, yes, you might think it's childish, but I did find it mildly hilarious. But one by one, he was kicking them all out. It was funny. I thought maybe one or two might get through, but it was kicking them all out. And then he was asking, because I was showing various screenshots of him asking people to provide proof of like purchase, the fact that they were in there, and obviously people can provide that, so they kicked them out. But this one, I like this one, right? Chris said, hi, please forward proof of purchase of either DWA Volume 2 or screenshot of subscription to this platform. Failure to do so will result in your ban. Thank you. I think that was quite aggressive, an aggressive way of welcoming people. Anyway, this person replied. They said, I didn't mean to join. Well, someone sent me a link. I don't know what this is. I'm laughing at me. Classic. And Chris said, "Who sent you the link, please?" And the reply was, "I've no idea who they are. Also, I don't feel comfortable sharing people's names out just because I don't know you." That's right, absolutely spot on. This person doesn't know who Chris is. This Chris Ingham is a complete stranger. Just because, Chris, you have over 1 million subs doesn't mean to say you own people, right? Don't treat them like shit, because that's what you did to this person. Anyway, yeah, they soon got kicked out, obviously. As did I. You know, obviously, it became apparent that somebody within the group was sharing the link about, and they obviously looked into it. Chris looked into it and must have found out it was me, right? So I got booted. That's right, I got booted from the group. A paid for group as well, right? There was nothing in the terms and conditions that said I couldn't share the link and invite my friends into the group. That wasn't the terms and conditions. Anyway, where's my money, Chris? You kicked me out without a refund. That's right. I have since received a refund from my bank. Thank you, bank. You know, save you every time I buy something from Chris. The bank bails me out. Thank you so much. Anyway, the drama did not end there. I was out, right? But later that evening, I was sent the screenshots of what Chris had been saying. That's why he was saying what he said. He knew it was me, or he suspected it must have been me. I'd done it, and he was fuming, clearly fuming. Anyway, it was worth it. It really, really was worth it. Although what he was saying, as we have previously touched on, was very defamatory and very illegal in the country for where he now resides. And he is most likely going to get what comes to him. I'm sorry, Christopher, but I can't let this one lie. And, you know, what will be, won't it? Now, on another note, I just would like to finish on this point, because it's quite an important point, because nobody else will know this unless you've looked into it like I have. He's going on here in reply to this person here. They said, "You guys are not rich though. I think you have, however, done amazingly well." And Chris replied very snarkily, "Obviously, sorry, you my accountant now? Makes me long so much when people make dumbass comments like this. How could you possibly know how rich we are or aren't? And the clown emojis. So, Christopher, you talk about your accountants, and let's discuss finances, shall we? You've mentioned that your business, your company, is no longer in, it's no longer a thing, basically, you've said, and you now do business in Dubai, right? All your finances go through Dubai, and you're reaping the tax benefits of such a move, which is smart business from you, Christopher. I must admit, you are the smartest businessman that I know, anyway, except for when it comes to this, obviously, and I am left speechless. So the first one, we have the purchase of the Discord group, £15 a month, right? And it was made through PayPal under the name of iFam, right? So Chris's iFam business, which is based in the UK, and he's taking money in the UK for the iFam, and he's putting his money through the UK business. It just seems a little bit icky to me, but even more so is this one, which is absolutely astonishing. It's astonishing to me. Honestly, I hope it's as astonishing to you as it is to me. So this was the £50 purchase for his course. Business name is Chris Ingham. However, you know, he's not putting it through his company, obviously. It's through himself as an individual on this occasion. However, if you look closer, it says the location is Beltoft, UK, GB, right? That's where they live, right? Okay, I can say that now. They don't live there anymore. But the point is that the money that he's earning through his course, the one that's making him thousands of pounds a day, that one, he's putting that through the UK, where he has to pay taxes on them, where he has to pay taxes. He doesn't get the tax relief if he puts it through the UK. So why is he moved to Dubai, where there's huge tax benefits, and he's bragging about the tax benefits, but then he puts his finances and his earnings through a UK bank account, which means he has to pay tax on it? Has anybody got any solutions to what is going on in that little brain of his? Anything? Any clue at all? I find it mildly humiliating. Yeah, that's probably a better word for him. Humiliating for him. I hope you've enjoyed this lovely birthday extravaganza, Chris. It's been a pleasure. I hope you're enjoying your 40th birthday. I've done this video especially for you, released it especially for you on your birthday, so there's no misunderstandings about how much you mean to me. It is a lot. You do mean the world to me, Chris. You're my income. And yet I do it so much better than you. I do income so much better than you. And yet we do the same thing, except for you pimp out your kids, and I call you out for pimping out your kids. Anyway, if you have appreciated this video, it's taken a bit of time and money, although I have said that I've got my money back. But, you know, if you want to, like, support me in any way, links in the description below. But if you have appreciated this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Comment all of your thoughts about it down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, have a brilliant day. Have a brilliant weekend. Good luck, England, tomorrow in the final. And I'll see you again soon in another video. Take care and bye-bye.